Hi, I'm Dr. Shanna Kaskatari. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an associate professor here at the University of Michigan School of Social Work and the Department of Women and Gender Studies. One of the populations that I work with and study and collaborate with is the trans and gender diverse population. And one of the numbers that many people have heard of is that 41% of trans and gender diverse adults have attempted suicide in their lifetime, which is an incredibly high number, especially compared to the general population. What I want to point out is that many of the mental health concerns that are present in the transgender and gender diverse community are not necessarily because of people's gender identity, but they're because of the social issues around stigma, transphobia, and ciscentrism that really impact trans folks. And I think we're seeing that a lot right now with policies across the US that are being put into place that are reducing access to gender affirming care, to what clothing people are allowed to wear, what is allowed to be on people's birth certificates and driver's licenses, and it's only getting worse from there. So you can imagine the impact that has on people's mental health when politicians are standing up and saying, we should eradicate transgender people. That's pretty scary, and that has a huge impact on people's mental health. So not only do we need to be aware of the mental health of this community, but we really need to think about how this impacts individuals on an interpersonal, an institutional, and really an ideological level, because we can't really integrate change at one level without thinking about it on all the different levels. So one of the programs that I'm really excited about right now is developed by myself in tandem with my community partner, Transcend the Binary in Detroit. And it's an intervention that we're calling Trans Wellness, Trans Brilliance. And it's kind of not a Trans 101 support group, but what's the next step? Once trans people have felt comfortable with who they are, they're valid in themselves, they're getting to be their authentic selves around other people, well, then what? So we've worked on creating this 8-week intervention in partnership with trans and gender diverse people across the state of Michigan. And we've actually trained trans and gender diverse individuals to be peer support specialists, as well as hiring trans and gender diverse mental health practitioners, mostly social workers, of course, to run these 8-week groups. They meet for 1.5 hours each week, groups of about 8 people each. And our curriculum covers everything from mindfulness to advocacy, to how people can create community support and community organizing. So we are just finishing up running our pilot test of our first 4 groups. And so far the data we're getting back is really exciting. And so what we're trying to do is, instead of just being aware of people's mental health, is what does it look like to actually give people the tools from the community and train up community members, right, to facilitate those spaces in order to create actual change. And so I encourage you to think about what you can do to support trans and gender diverse people as policies tend to shift, and also keep your eyes open for Trans Wellness, Trans Brilliance to hopefully be on a much larger level soon.